Welcome folks to the channel, Clunkers and Classics. This is the continuing adventures of bringing back from the dead this 1978 Aspen RT. And seems like I'm getting a lot of, let me just pick up this cup. Seems like I'm getting a lot of subscribers lately. Appreciate y'all watching, all you new subscribers and old subscribers. I started this channel about 3 months or so ago, 3 or 4 months ago, and it took about that long to get 100 subscribers. I didn't ask anybody, any other YouTubers, for help or shout outs or nothing, because I don't want to be promoting people that I don't, channels that I don't really like and think they're not doing a good job, and trying to con people, that type of stuff. I see way too many of that. This is just a channel that's a basic approach, sensibly and common sense type thing of rebuilding a car and what it takes, especially this one that had been sitting since 1987, and showing you what it takes to get one of these things going. And basically I'm just doing the bare minimum, although, you know, I bought new tires. You know, I didn't cheap out on some stuff. I mean, and we're just going to get her going and see how it goes, and might add to it later on. You know, I may add some headers and get the seats upholstered and, you know, fancy stuff later on. But just for now, the goal is just to get her running, driving, and dependable. So this is episode 13, and I hope it's not an unlucky 13, because we're about to take this thing for its first drive on a road. I've done some donuts here on my property with it, and done a burnout, but that's it. It hasn't been on the road since '87. So I added it to my Haggerty insurance policy. Again, not sponsored, nothing sponsored on this channel. And the cost was $22 a year to insure it. I know, it sounds ridiculously cheap, and it is. I've got about 12 or 13 cars insured with them. Some are a little bit more. Some are $50 a year. But I'll tell you what I put down. It's you can't insure a daily driver with them. Something you drive to work and back and all that. But they don't ask you, well, they ask you, but they don't require you to drive a certain amount of miles a year. You can just guess at it. But basically you just check off that you're that it's just for pleasure, just for taking to, you can drive it to work occasionally if you wanted to. It's, you know, it says in there, you know, going out for ice cream occasionally. You just check that box and be truthful with them. Don't ever lie. And the other thing I think keeps it cheap is your the value of it. And I only put down $3,500. I'm not going to be greedy, so I just put down $3,500. That way, if it gets totaled, you know, I won't have $3,500 into this car. Well, I would if I had to pay myself my own labor, but I just wanted to be cheap. I don't know, I didn't fudge with the numbers too much to see what it would cost if I put down $10,000 or, you know, anything like that. I just put down $3,500. Now you can always amend it and add later that you want to up the value. You know, maybe after I get it painted and do some more stuff to it, get more money in it, then maybe I'll up the value to, you know, 5,000 or 7,000. Okay, so yeah, 22 bucks a year. That's all it costs to insure this. And that is collision too. That's liability and collision. Okay, so if you all want to look into that, I don't know what of them, what is it, Grundy's, probably a few more. But you know, for 22 bucks, why would you even search somewhere else? But yeah, I got about 12 or 13 cars with them now. So, and it's, I don't know, there's not a cutoff on the year. It's just basically, you can't have, you got to have your regular drivers insured with somebody else. And then these are just your pleasure vehicles. So I have like Geico, and I have my truck here. And then I got the Ford Fusion over there that I drive. I got those two on a Geico policy. Now what you can add on, so with Haggerty, you know, I got my 2 Jeeps on here, which I rarely drive. So I got those 2 Jeeps. One's a 2004. So they take anything even up to 2004. A couple of years ago, I had added my 99 Camaro and my 2000 Firebird on there. And just wondering if they took it, if they would take it. Because I thought, well, you know, a 2000 is kind of new. Well, it's still 20 years old and they insured it. Same with this 99 Silverado. So anyway, yeah, if you want to check into it, like I said, it's not sponsored. So anyway, we're going to give this thing a good test drive. I just went and got some gas. We're going to put in another, you know, 4 or 5 gallons of gas. Make sure I don't run out of gas. And we're going to run up to the main paved road to go up and down. Now it's probably about 2 miles before it ends. We're going to go up and down there. I'm going to try to set up the camera so you can show the whole car driving by, but mostly I'm going to be holding the camera in the car while I'm driving. We're going to check it all out. You know, there's trying to take away the reasons of what would be wrong with it. That's why I waited until I got the new tires, because the other tires were just crap. So we got new tires on it. We got the exhaust. So it should be okay. So we're going to check it out for stuff like, you know, see how the front end drives, see how good it drives. I had it jacked up. I know the transmission shifts and everything. So we're just basically going to do that. Oh, so to get back with subscribers, did I mention that, yeah, it took me 3 or 4 months to get 100 subscribers. And then it took about a week, the last week or so, to get another 100, and then just a couple of days to get another 100. So I'm up to about 300 now. And I know it's not a lot, but it seems like a million to me, you know. So I appreciate all you guys watching. I appreciate all the good comments about how you like watching this car being brought back from the dead and all that. Okay, so oh, I'm gonna show you a few things. I've been working on some other stuff to here the last few days. That's why I haven't. So you can see this mirror is screwed. I had 3 like that, and then that's one good one I found from the 87 Fifth Avenue. Okay. Now the wipers are in the trunk, but they move. Look. Little things like the squirters. The driver's one's pointing a little bit high. Driver's side actually wasn't squirting hardly at all. I had to get some old welding wire and push down the little tube, and now it's squirting like hell. So yeah, just those, really, that's when I'm just getting down to the little nitty-gritty little stuff, getting that done. I don't really think there's anything mechanically. We're gonna find out after this test drive of how much more stuff we got to do to it. Probably have to make another list. The front end looks really good. You know, most I can right now without driving it. May need a front end alignment, but. And then we're gonna check out these rear tires. Like I said, they wobble a little bit, and I'm pretty sure it's this axle here that is a little bit bent. But we're gonna see how it drives. Like I said, I've had cars before over the years that they wobble a little bit, but you don't really feel it. So we're gonna see if you can feel it at certain speeds and high speeds and all that. So we're gonna go down the main road, paved road, back and forth a few miles, and then if it's actually pretty good at higher speed, we'll take it a few miles down the road to hit the highway and get her up to, you know, 70 or something like that. But for now, we're probably just going to be doing 40, 50, test it out. Okay, so I think that's about it. Next segment, we'll be turning onto the paved road inside the car. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, folks. First time since 1987 that it's on the road. I think this speedometer might be about 10 off because it's showing 55, but when the car's off it shows 10. So I'm thinking it's 10 off. Anyway, we're just taking it easy now, just cruising. Seems to drive pretty straight. Steering wheel's probably off a little bit. Yeah, pulls to the left a little bit. The exhaust don't sound too bad. It doesn't drone. Stuck in second. Railroad tracks. I have to stop and go manually through the gears, see if it goes 1, 2, 3. Sounded like it just got 1 and 2. I don't know if I'm getting all my throttle, as much throttle as I can get. I may have to adjust that throttle cable. I think I'll have to turn around here. There's this dead ends up here, but back up here and see if it. Okay, I think that's first. I don't know what the rear end ratio is in this. I never did check those numbers. See, it's showing 55, but I think we might be doing 45. Kick it down here after this track, see if it goes into second. No, it doesn't seem to kick down. Do it manually. That was me with the gas pedal doing that. Seeing if I can find a place to set up the camera on the little tripod and drive by it a few times. Maybe in here. Wonder if I could stick it on top of this mailbox. No. I wonder about this curb right here, whether I can. Okay, I'm going to set it up on this yellow curb right here and drive by it a few times. See what that looks like. Or looks and sounds like. Looks like my front brakes are smoking a little bit. It might be sticking or something. Anyway, put my seatbelt back on. I'll drive it up and down here a few more times. Start her off in first. See if it'll lay rubber going out of here. Yeah, the front end feels a little off, but I know I got new shocks on there, so I know it's not that. Kicking down into second. Car to go by. I think it just shifts too smooth. It needs to be more of a more of you can feel the shifts. It feels too smooth going first, second, third. go down there and head out on the highway a couple miles. I know the front end's a little off, but the speedometer's off for sure. It's at least 10 miles off. Slow pokey driver in front of us. Okay guys, I'll turn the camera back on here in a few minutes. Okay guys, just pulled back on the property. Let me see if anything's going on under the hood. Well, it kind of drove like an old car on the front end. You could feel it. I'm not sure what's up with that. We know we got new shocks on it, so it's not that. It's probably the torsion bar, that type of stuff. It seemed like it's shifting. You have it in drive and it goes through 1, 2, 3 pretty quick and pretty smooth. Start off and it'll smoke the tire or tires. I didn't check, but when I stopped to turn on the highway there, it was spinning, but then it would just go through the gears real quick. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Got the new fluid and filter and everything in there. I don't know if there's needs a slight adjustment, and it seems like I'm not getting full throttle. You know, it took me a while to just get that throttle cable positioned in there with a little bracket, and I never did check if when you hit put down the gas pedal all the way, whether that's fully opening the carburetor, and I don't think it is. So I can probably have to do some more adjusting on that, so when I floor it, it'll open up the carburetor all the way. But other than that, you know, it runs and drives. It's not overheating or nothing. I think I need to do some more bleeding on the brakes. I don't know if seems like it's I didn't jam on the brakes to check. But well, I hit the front brakes pretty hard at one point, right when I had the camera tripod set up. When I went past it, I hit the brakes pretty hard to turn into a drive lane turn around, and that's when they started smoking a little bit. But of course, they're brand new shoes and probably got some oil and crap residue on the rotors. But anyway, that was it. First drive of on the road since 1987. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out what I want to do next with this, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I found out one problem. This is my accelerator cable here, and I kind of welded this one tab on, and it's really just got the one bolt there. Now I pulled it back when I just opened the hood or took the air cleaner off just now. It was like that. See, and then I pulled it back straight. So I was losing about an inch or so of throttle. So that carburetor was only opening about halfway during that test drive. I know I had this bolt as tight as I could get it, and it's still coming loose. So I need to do something to keep that from twisting again. So anyway, let me do that. Probably not going to take it for another test drive right now because it's getting late. It's late in the day and I'm waiting on a customer to come over. But maybe tomorrow morning we'll take it for another test drive if I can get this little linkage here fixed. Here's the, well, maybe this is the kickdown for the transmission. That's what it is. That cable's sticking up, binding it up, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna mess with that, and I'll be back later. Okay guys, I've been messing with it. I made this bracket here from the intake up to keep the throttle cable from twisting forward. And I got this kick down, it's loosened up, but I don't think it's adjusted right because it doesn't kick down. I did take it for another test drive, about the same length that I recorded earlier. I just didn't want to record it again, and but it did a lot better. It seemed to have a lot more power, but it didn't kick down. It doesn't kick down into the gears. So that's one reason I didn't record it. I wanted to manually keep shifting it. And manually it shifts all right, first, second, third, and then down shifts. But the kick down doesn't work. And I'm not sure it connects up where I replaced that seal there when I was doing the floor. So maybe I didn't put that thing on right or something. I don't know. I'll have to mess with it. And the other thing I forgot to check when we were doing that test drive was whether them rear axles were wobbling. And I can't feel it. So I guess that might be normal. They might be normal, just out of whack a little bit. I don't know. Either that or I can't feel it because of the front end's a little bit off. I don't know. We got new tires, new shocks on there. I guess next I'll take it for front end alignment. And hopefully the guy that does the alignments knows what this front end is, how it's made with the torsion bars, and can adjust it. But anyway, maybe I'll do that. The other thing I haven't mentioned for a while is this lean burn deal. And I haven't had no problems with it. Started it up, 100 times and drove it. Doing burnouts. Let me just turn this over. But yeah, it's been a while. But as you can see, that I mentioned a long time ago, some of these wires are bare, and I think this one here is probably eaten up by, maybe they're just eaten up by rats. But no, they got some tape and stuff on them. But it works. And it hasn't caused no problems. I haven't researched it fully, but they did have a bunch of different lean burn systems on it. I don't know whether it was every year they changed it, tried to upgrade it, make it better. And then, it was a very problematic, plagued with problems, these lean burn systems, but once in a while they had some that didn't have no problems, and maybe this is one of them. The way they bypass it, make a bypass kit, is put the old style ignition system on it with a module that mounts. I think it mounts on the other side on the fender well. And there's a lot more wires and stuff to it. And I watched this other guy, I'll mention him, DD Speed Shop, Canadian guy. He's pretty good. I like his videos. But he has an old 68, 69 satellite Roadrunner looking thing, and then he had a 73 or something Challenger. But anyway, I actually first watched this video because he was doing the whole ignition system. So I was watching. I was like, oh yeah, well this is cool. And he bought the whole set. Just I think it was the distributor, the ballast resistor, the module, everything from I think Amazon. And he put all that on there, and it didn't work. And I thought, oh shit. And then I heard more stories that a lot of that stuff is just made bad, especially the modules. Then they have 3 different modules for different RPMs, and you get the chrome one for the 5,000 RPM and all this stuff. But apparently they're made really bad, or they don't last long. You know, you put them on there, they don't last, you know, very long at all. So ever since watching his video, and he just had one hell of a time, I think, getting both them cars just starting. You know, and he comes back on another segment and says, man, you guys didn't want me to record that because I was underneath that car. You never heard so many cuss words in all your life. Just, you know, frustrated. He's always, what's he call himself, struggling and frustrated. And, you know, yeah, struggling and frustrated. And that's, you know, to me, if you're that frustrated and that struggling and that pissed off that you got to swear and start throwing, you know, I don't know if he was throwing, yeah, I think he did say he was throwing stuff around. You don't need to be working on cars. You know, I do this for fun. I like doing it. And if I come across a problem, then, you know, just fix it. Don't sit there and, you know, it's not going to help swearing at the damn thing. It's just you know. So, after seeing all that, I don't think I want to buy all new ignition system for this. So basically, I think I'm just going to leave this lean burn on and just tape up the wires, clean it all up, maybe solder and stuff up some of these wires, tape them all up, and just leave it. And if one day it doesn't start and something's screwed up, then I'll start from scratch and build a whole new ignition system for it. But for now, I don't think I'm going to mess with that. It might be a good system. I don't know. I mean, obviously, all you need it for is to start and run the distributor, because none of this stuff is hooked up. None of these vacuum lines and all that crap, because the old carburetor's gone. It's just got a Holly, and there's not one vacuum line hooked up to that Holly. And that's the way I like it, because there's no emission stuff or anything like that on there. So the lean burn's still working. I did use about those 5 gallons of gas I put in it on those 2 test runs. So this thing is sucking back some gas. I don't know how it's going to do as a daily driver type car. It's not going to be a daily driver car for me. So I don't know. I'll have to check that out. The temperature gauge got about halfway, but when I came back, boy, it was boiling over into the overflow tank, and it actually dumped. Here's some rusty water here. Some rusty water out of the overflow tank tube. So what I'm going to do is, because I never did put antifreeze in this yet, so I'm just going to do an old-fashioned type flush. Stick a garden hose in there, let it run, circulate, get all that rust and crap out of there, and then put in some antifreeze. So I'm going to be doing that. That's mechanical stuff that needs to be done. That and an alignment. I might bring it out to an alignment. I'm going to talk to a friend of mine tomorrow, because he's got a junker clunker for me to buy from him, and he works at a shop there that does alignment. So I'm going to go talk to them, see when they can squeeze me in. But I'm going to Colorado on vacation here. It might be a lot sooner than I think, for some reasons. So I'm going to finish this video up, and then set it to come on Friday. I guess that's usually what I've been doing there, Friday or Saturday, a weekly video on this car. I might make a little video tomorrow on that car that I'm pulling in. Now let's see. Yeah, subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Right, bottom right of the corner says subscribe. Just click that and comment, like, share, all that stuff. The comments, I've been getting a lot of subscribers and comments and stuff, but it's I guess it's YouTube. Sometimes I'm not notified if there's somebody makes a comment. Other times it puts it in review. I don't know what that means. It comes up in my notifications, but it's not on the video. So if you ask a question and I don't respond to it, don't, you know, it's mostly YouTube, I think, is a little bit screwy. Okay, so I'll try to answer any questions, and I want some input from you guys on some of that stuff. Maybe tell me about that kickdown and whatever comments, because I said I'm not pretending to be a Chrysler expert. I had one of these when I was a kid, but it was a slant 6 4-speed, so I'm really not that knowledgeable on Chryslers, just on basic overall old cars. Mainly the old Chevys and Pontiacs. Okay, so yeah, if you're new, click my name on there, Clunkers and Classics, and then click my videos. All the videos will come up, because I'm getting people asking me about these other cars here. I made a couple of videos on my 74 GTO, my Chevelle. I put it back under the carport over there. I'm going to be making videos on my 82 El Camino and a 72 Nova. Needs to be restored. I actually got a 78 Nova I want to do next, then maybe the 72, then a 68 Nomad station wagon, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I got a video on my 77 Corvette, and then people have been asking about my Flying Purple People Eater 70 Le Mans. I got a couple of videos of that, driving and stuff. So yeah, just click on my videos and those will come up, and I'll be making more on them whenever I work on them, you know, because these cars always need something. They're not, you know, they're not perfect 100% done. They all run and drive. I can hop in them and drive them anywhere, but just little stuff that it may need. I'll make some videos on them, because like I said, I'm new to YouTube, so I don't have all the complete videos of restoring these cars, because I never did YouTube before. So this is the 78 Aspen RT is the one that I've done right from sitting since '87 and started right from it. So it's come a long ways. So yeah, I guess that's it. Just appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you next video on this one. From time to time, I'm going to add in some little videos of those. Like I said, I'm going to pick up that clunker there tomorrow. If you want to, you know, if you're not interested in them, don't watch them. You don't have to, but it's just, I buy junk cars and either part them out or fix them up and sell them, or, you know, do something with them. They're not going to be very long. They're not going to be long videos like this, but just a few minutes there if you just wanted to see what kind of cars that come into, you know, they're coming to me instead of a crusher or wrecking yard. So you'll see what I do with them. Wrecking yards would just crush them, but I'll part them out and do something with them. Okay, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's a lot of driving on there, but you know, it's its first drive since 1987, so I just figured I'd leave it all in there. And you know, it did pretty good. It did, you know, nothing blew up or overheat or break down or nothing, so I don't know how dependable it can be. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next video.